Automotive safety, the driver. You're about to witness how far crash safety has come. Traveling on the Autobahn at 240 kilometers an hour, the driver of the highlighted car is in serious difficulties. He grazes the guardrail on the right and loses control. As if by a miracle, he climbs out of the wreckage not only alive, but uninjured. He owes his life not to luck, but to crash science. Despite such advances, as car travel increases, the number of road deaths in many countries is also on the rise. And still, when things go wrong, people blame the roads, the weather, the car, or even fate. But hard evidence shows they're wrong. Over 90% of crashes are down to driver error. Get behind the wheel of a speed machine, and a change takes place in many people. Psychologists have discovered that the safer cars get, the faster people drive, and the more risks they take. For every extra 30 centimeters of lane width, the driver increases speed by 5 kilometers an hour. People become reckless. And this can have a dramatic impact on pedestrians. In the USA alone, 116,000 are mown down by cars every year. 6,000 of these die. Even the red light at a pedestrian crossing does not guarantee safety. So today's car manufacturers are now focusing on the safety of those both inside and outside the car. Sports cars can be a pedestrian's worst nightmare, but their streamlined looks are what sells. So Jaguar has recently revealed the world's first pyrotechnic pedestrian deployable hood as state-of-the-art advanced safety feature. On impact, this deployable hood automatically pops up, creating a cushioning effect against the hard engine beneath, reducing injury severity. But research shows that most accidents take place when the driver hasn't seen the pedestrian, most likely at night. In response, scientists have developed the world's first intelligent night vision system. This high-tech device uses far-infrared cameras to detect pedestrians in the vehicle's path and gives the driver an advance warning. But ultimately, systems like this emphasize the limitations of the human driver. And there's only so much help our cars can give us in reducing accidents. Humans make mistakes. Whereas computers are less fallible. They don't get mad, sleepy, or distracted. And they can also drive cars. The collective crash science term for these systems is active safety. Luis Moraes from Chrysler explains how computer-controlled accident prevention is significantly quicker than human reactions.
We have about 100 milliseconds or a tenth of a second to protect the occupant. All the restraints have to deploy within this time frame, and that's not going to change. So on the other hand, active safety, we have full seconds, maybe up to 10 seconds, to try and have technology assist the driver in avoiding the accident.
One example is braking systems.
We detect what the computer determines to be the intent of the driver, and it assists and enhances the ability by applying full braking force, but also detects when the driver takes the pressure completely off, and it just disengages the system.
Testing a similar system, Volvo's latest prototype features the collision mitigation system. Cameras and onboard computers calculate the distance between vehicles, their relative speeds, and their anticipated travel path to determine the likelihood of a collision.
The vehicle will brake automatically in order to mitigate this rear-end accident. So we have about 50 meters left, and I'm driving 40 kph, and I'm just going straight into the balloon car. And the vehicle braked automatically. We did have a collision, but as you can see, we really reduced impact speed here.
So when the car sees an impact is imminent, it warns the driver. And if that warning doesn't work, it takes control and slams on the brakes. Other human weaknesses are also treated with technology. Manufacturers are now developing a drowsiness warning system. Rear-facing onboard cameras monitor vital physical clues like blink rate. If the car suspects the driver's beginning to get drowsy, it blasts cold air at them and raises an alarm. But would all these safety features have helped save Princess Diana's life? The French investigators' conclusion was that Diana's driver was drunk, and forensic examination of the car indicated that it was traveling at no more than 96 kilometers an hour. So why did she die? Her position in the rear seat of the car, furthest from the impact, gave her the best chance of survival. But like millions who have died in car crashes before her, she wasn't wearing a seatbelt. The price of automobile safety isn't just counted in the billions of dollars the industry demands, but in the millions of lives lost and still being lost right now. As you've watched this film, it's likely that over 100 people have died in car crashes, and more than half of them needlessly, since the public still doesn't demand that all safety innovations are built into every car. And the safer cars get, the more reckless drivers become. Humans will always find ways to crash cars. So if the automobiles of the future are to be made any safer, the next step in crash science may be the most radical yet, taking the human out of the driving seat and putting computers in control. But people love the personal freedom their cars give them, and tomorrow's crash scientists will need to be every bit as innovative as the pioneers before them, who've already made such huge advances in automobile safety in the past 75 years.